Welcome back to my live broadcast. Okay, today's video is the 19th of my series about AMI stock analysis. And the topic today, I will mainly talk about the US market, the performance. Yesterday it sold up, right? But for most people, maybe you didn't catch the opportunity. So have you bought? So if you didn't buy yesterday, then the problem is, what is the most difficult thing for stock investment? Actually, later I will share with you the answer, but I think you already got the answer. The most difficult thing for stock investment is, if you didn't catch the opportunity last night, then you will know the answer. What's the most difficult thing for stock investment? So that's the main topic for today. And the second part, I will always talk about the individual stock diagnosis. Okay, get your stocks ready. Later we can avoid wasting time. Okay. Before we begin, I need to remind you that all the stocks mentioned in the video are for the purpose of demonstration and education, not recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading and take full responsibilities for their own tradings. Okay, so about last night performance. So we see the Dow Jones sold up by 1.68%, Nasdaq sold up by 2.32%, and S&P 500 is sold up by 1.8%, right? So big rise last night, but many people maybe have been caught by surprise, right? Because last Friday we got the news that Trump contracted COVID-19. So people are thinking that, wow, this is bad news for the stock market. But yesterday I already mentioned the influence on the stock market. This case is limited, right? We checked. Although we got the bad news, but the U.S. market didn't really drop a lot last Friday. We got the news in the daytime last Friday, but last Friday night, the U.S. market, the performance, it didn't drop a lot, right? It used to, during the trading slot, it used to drop a lot, but in the end, it didn't drop much, right? We checked, and I also shared with you the reason why the U.S. market didn't drop a lot last Friday, although we got seemingly bad news about Trump contracting COVID-19. I mentioned that you need to understand the essential logic behind the price movement, the ups and downs. I said that money flow, and I mentioned that Trump can be replaced, right? That's the essential reason why the market wasn't influenced too much, because even if Trump really, let's say, the illness becomes quite serious, even we're talking about death, that's not likely going to happen, right? But even if really there is death happening, but still there will always be someone else replace Donald Trump, right? Okay, so then if you understand the logic, then you will not be so much panicked, right? And then here, actually the most difficult thing for stock investment is about timing. Timing is the most difficult part, because 80% of the participants in the stock market, they are always wrong. Like the Trump case, many people were thinking that, wow, this is bad news for the stock market. Only a minority were thinking that this may not have so much big influence on the stock market, right? So if you have thought that this is very bad news for the market, you must have left or you wouldn't be able to catch the rally last night, right? So means what? If you want to make profit in the stock market, you have to think differently than the majority of participants. When the market, one day is bad news, then the market was dropping, then you need to be prepared for the opportunities. You need to think, you need to let's say monitor the market closely and try to get prepared for the opportunities. And then when the market rise, all is good news. All you hear about, all you can hear is good news. Then you need to think about the risks that would come in future, and you need to get prepared to take profit. But then the timing becomes the most difficult part and the most important part. So when do we know that it's already about the time that we can have opportunities, or when it's about the time that we need to take profit, we need to fend off the risks. So timing becomes the most difficult part for stock investment, and also it's the most important part. Because I mentioned a lot of people, although last night the US market, it went up a lot, right? But a lot of people were caught by surprise. They didn't catch the opportunity. They didn't buy, especially for those who are trading US market, right? Maybe majority didn't buy, and now they are thinking to buy. After the US market, the indexes already sold last night, they are beginning to think to buy some stocks, right? And then I mentioned, when many people or majority are thinking that the market is going up, and it's possible that the market would drop again. So your timing can be always wrong, right? So I remind you, or I warned you, although last night the US market, it went up, right? But it doesn't mean that this rally can last for a long time. What if recently the market dropped again, and then you have bought after last night's big rise, and then you might enter at a high position. Then if the market drop again recently, you will be stuck there. So your timing is wrong again. Remember, I mentioned for many times, for the US market. For the US market, it's possible that the price might remain quite volatile for a while, right? I have almost every session, every video, I mention about this to you. I remind you this again and again. So it's possible that the market might be volatile within the support of the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow and the resistance of the yellow Tai Chi signal here. I mentioned for many times, every almost video, because this is very important. We need to know for the big picture, what our situation is, where we are in the long run of the big picture. So for the big picture, for a while into future, it's possible the price might remain volatile within the support here and the resistance here. So if it's a volatile market, timing is extremely important, right? Okay, so how do we time our tradings in time? So there is a precondition. The precondition is you always focus on the strong stocks. Okay, so that's the precondition. If you have always stick to the strong stocks, then timing will not be a very difficult thing for you. But if your choice at the very beginning is wrong, you have picked the wrong stock, then it's almost impossible for you to catch the right timing. Okay, so then what kind of stocks are regarded as the strong stocks with great potentiality in future? I think for Homely members, you know the answer, right? Multicolored dragon, right? For example, last night the U.S. market is sold up a lot, right? But then, if you have been monitoring some strong stocks in advance, then you should have already caught the opportunity recently, the U.S. market. For example, do you still remember this individual stock called Sunrun, right? So Sunrun, I mentioned this in my previous video. I talked about some energy stocks, right? And this is among one of them. And if you check, wow, from the very beginning, why we pick this stock? Because based on the second window MCD multicolored dragon, this share has a red bar, which means the big boys more than 75%. It's quite stable above 75% for a while. I was since July, right? I was since July until now. It's big boys above the above 75%. Okay, the red bars big boys and green bars retailers, and the yellow bar here represent the speculators who come in and out frequently, intraday or control players. Okay, and then if you have focused on this share, this kind of share, okay, then from the very beginning, so you already have a very high success rate to make money. Okay, so the precondition for timing is you pick the strong stock, and then after you have picked the strong stocks, the next thing about timing, the most important is you need to have a trading system, effective trading system. This is the second most important thing if you want to do the timing properly for stock investment. Yeah, so trading system, it includes of course picking the right stock. That's one thing we already mentioned. You pick the right stock by multicolored dragon, right? By checking multicolored dragon. After you pick the right stock, that's part of trading system. The other things will be your entry point and your exit point and your stop loss point, right? And also your position management, your risk management. All these things are involved in your trading system, right? So then how do we establish effective trading system? For Homely, okay, Homely members, you all have this Homely software. So the software, the combination of these indicators can provide you some trading systems and with high success rate. So in my videos, I have always showed you the combination of multicolored dragon and red vesicle and Homely rainbow, right? So the combination of these three indicators is a very powerful trading system. The success rate is high, and it can help you from the first thing, pick the strong stock, the stock with great potentiality by checking multicolored dragon, the big boys and the retailers. And then after you pick the right stock, you just need to check, let's say for medium term trading, the yellow lines of Homely rainbow here, right? So the yellow lines represent the medium term trend, the white lines represent the long term. These two colors are the most important, and then blue is in between medium term and long term, and the red and the green is for short term trading. Okay, so for Homely rainbow, this indicator is to help you find the entry and exit point for medium term trading. Let's remove the red and white circle first. It's to help you secure the medium term entry and exit points when the price break up the yellow lines, and if it's previously in downtrend, for this case, previously the price below the white lines, and it's in for long term, it's bearish. Once the price break up the yellow lines and the white lines here, this is the long-term reversal. So your buy point, your entry point for medium-term trading should be here, right? When the price break up the resistance, all the resistance lines of the homely rainbow, the yellow lines and the white lines, and then after that, if you are trying to do some medium-term trading, you can keep holding as long as the price remain above the yellow lines of homely rainbow. Okay, so means for medium term, your entry and exit, the timing for your entry and exit for medium term, focus on the homely rainbow. And then for short term, we need red and white circle. Considering currently we are in a volatile market, the market may go up last night, it also may go up 2 days later, or maybe tonight. Who knows? Maybe tonight a drop a bit, maybe not much, but it's possible that tonight maybe a drop, and also maybe tonight it would go up, right? So no one can predict the performance for tomorrow. No one can do that. But then how do we deal with such uncertainties? Yeah, your trading system. You pick the strong stock and then you stick to your trading system. For example, for Sunrun, when I mentioned about this Sunrun, it's around 14th September. 14th September, I mentioned in that video, you can go back to check my video on that day, okay? So I mentioned about Sunrun. This is one of the energy stocks I mentioned. And then I also I mentioned another one, COSK, right? Later we also can check, okay? Later we also can check. And then I also mentioned several other stocks in my video, 14th September, in that video, okay? And then if you go back and check, you realize that most of them already sold up recently. So for this case, this is the red circle, first red circle based on the trading system for short term. First red circle is the short term buy point. The following day, we get the confirmation to buy because the close price higher than the high price of the first red circle candle. So 15th September, that's a buy point. So after you buy, you didn't really see the price go up a lot. It just remains sideways there, right? And then if you don't follow the indicator, maybe you already sold away, right? But if you follow the system, the trading system here tell you you should hold, then you keep holding. So you keep holding. Recently, you hold until now, so you already have a profit of 33%, right? 33% in 15 trading days. So if you have bought 15 September, so of course last night you don't have to worry that you have missed the opportunity because you already caught the opportunity in advance. When the US market is quite volatile, it goes up and down. It goes up and down around the yellow lines of homely rainbow. You already have caught the opportunity here, right? Because you follow the trading system. You pick the right stock, you follow the trading system, you buy, and then you just take you just keep making profit until now. So even if you didn't buy last night, actually last night it may not necessarily be the best timing to buy any stock, right? But if you follow this, you already bought and you keep holding until now, make profit. Okay, so it's not like let's say every time you buy and sell, you can always every time you can make sure you have such a big profit. Then the other one, COSK, I also mentioned about COSK around 14th September, right? You check it's the same date, right? Sunrun, the buy points. Okay, Sunrun. 14th September, right? And then CLSK is also 14th September. That's the buy point. Yeah, I mentioned this on the same day because it showed us the buy points on the same date. That's why I mentioned this. I mentioned them in the same video, and they all belong to the energy sector. And then for this one, so you see, you buy after the signal, then you the confirmation comes the 18th September, right? So when I talk about this confirm the buy point, I remember there's one friend who has chased after the big rally, after the big rise. He chased after it, he bought in, and then the price it dropped, right? So this is why I say never chase after the rally. So timing is very important. If you have missed the buy points, the confirmed buy point on 18th September, you definitely cannot chase after this big rise. Okay, so timing, this is why timing is important. Yeah, timing, you follow the trading system here, you will not buy after this big rise here, especially when after that we have a yellow tai chi, right? So yellow tai chi signal in my previous videos I also mentioned a lot of times, then I think you're familiar. Yellow tai chi means the danger alert, top alert signal. Okay, and then even if you follow the system here, you buy here and you sell when you have the first white circle on 5th October, you buy and you sell, you still can have some profit for this one. It's 17% of profit, right? But sometimes maybe you follow the system, you cannot make profits because the success rate for this trading system is not 100%. For example, some Singapore shares. Previously, I also mentioned about some Singapore shares, let's say AEM, right? So AEM, for example, I have a video to talk about AEM, right? So this is the first recycle. After the first recycle, the following day it went up, right? Based on the trading system, yeah, this is a confirmed buy point. But for this time, it didn't go up, rather it dropped first. And I mentioned because the yellow lines here would be the strong resistance. If you want to buy, you better check the minute chart. You remember I said you better check the 30-minute chart for AM, and if you really have done that, then in the 30-minute chart you already have sold away on 1st October. Let's go to the minute chart for you to check for AM. AWX. Okay, let me change to the 30-minute chart. Okay, so 30-minute chart, you see the first white circle in the 30-minute chart, it comes on October the 1st. October the 1st, that's the first white circle. Then October the 1st. Yeah, this is October the 1st. So you have sold away on that day in the 30-minute chart to avoid the short-term corrections, because we say we have on one hand we have opportunity, maybe it will go up. On the other hand, we have risks, because yellow lines of homely rainbow, very strong resistance. It's possible that the price would drop, unable to break up the resistance here. So one day breaking up the resistance, it doesn't mean it's a successful breakthrough. It's possible that it will drop again. So it happens for AM, right? Okay, so for this case, if you have tried to buy here, I cannot say that you are wrong, but if you check the 30-minute chart, you have been able to sold away. But even if you didn't sell away in the 30-minute chart, you have bought after that, and then up until now, the indicator tell you that you still can hold, right? But usually if the price drop below the yellow lines, you need to stop loss. This is one part of your trading system, stopping loss, right? If you have bought and if the market doesn't move in your favor, you realize that you're wrong. Okay, this is the time we realized we are wrong. You need to stop loss. When you see the price drop below the yellow lines, or you check the minute chart, 30-minute chart, 60-minute chart, you already have a sell point. You stop loss first, right? Means you follow the trading system. It's not like every time you must make profit. I cannot guarantee that for every trading you can make profit. What we can guarantee is that the success rate is very high. And you set up your stop loss. Then your losses will be within control, will be limited, will be small amount. And for one thing is stop loss for this one, for this case, and then you can check the 30-minute chart to do the stop loss. You see the sell point in 30-minute chart, you sell first. And the other thing is final stop loss. If the circle turn white, that's the final stop loss level. And if you check the final stop loss level, up until now, you didn't sell. If you have bought, then you didn't sell because we don't have a white circle. And if we check the performance for AM now, it's still red circle. Today it went up a bit, right? It also may have opportunity to go up in future. It's possible as long as it's a red circle. So we still have opportunity or have such a hope that AEM finally can break up the yellow lines again, the resistance of the yellow lines again. Maybe it's not today, because today we see money is flow out a bit. It's not a very big outflow, just a small amount of outflow up until now for today. Maybe today the price unable to break up the resistance, but as long as the circle remain red, we will have such an opportunity. The price can break up because in the end, we have the money flow in for a while, ever since 16th September. Since 16th September until now, money have flowed in, generally speaking, right? So that's a good thing. So means we have an opportunity. We still have opportunity for AM. Remember, we need to think differently than majority of participants. When people are thinking that AEM will not go up, it doesn't have chance. Maybe that's when the chances really lies, really lie, okay, really lie in. And for AEM, you can keep the hope there because the indicator tell you money flow in, and it's still red circle. For short term, it's still uptrend, so we have hope price can break up, right? So can keep monitoring this one. So means if you didn't sell, then until now you still can hold because this is your final defense line. If you already sold away, that's also not a bad choice. You have sold away, you can wait for opportunity, keep a close eye on AEM. Once the price break up the yellow line, then the chances might come again, right? So you need to get prepared. If you never get prepared for the chances, you didn't tell yourself in advance that AEM might have opportunity, then even when the price go up in future, you will be caught by surprise and you cannot enter in time. So timing, right? Timing important. You need to get prepared in advance, not chase after the rally. Not when in future the price for AEM is already sold up, then you chase after it. Then your timing will be wrong again. Okay? Keyword for today, timing. And then you still remember when I talk about AEM, I also talk about another US share called SI Time because they belong to the same sector, semiconductor, right? Semiconductor. In my recent videos, I also talk about SI10, right? So you see, the beauty of following your trading system is, this is the buy point, this is the confirmation, 22nd September confirmation, and then you buy, you keep holding until now, you still at a profit, right? So means what? If you try to buy last night for any stock, that's already late. Maybe that's already late. Maybe your timing is not the right timing. But if you follow the trading system, you already bought, then you can just keep holding for to make profit for last night's rally. For because previously I have been monitoring several other shares in the energy sector. I didn't share with you them all because I don't have enough time. For example, this one called ENPH, right? So ENPH, you see, the first recycle, that's 21st September. The confirmation, the following day, there's a confirmation. After the confirmation, the price didn't go up immediately. It dropped for 2 days first, get support at recycle, and then go up until now. So you see, last night, this is a big rise. But if you didn't buy this unfazed energy in advance, you want to chase after it, after the big rise last night, no use. Your timing is wrong. Your timing is wrong. The right timing is 22nd or maybe 25th September. If you have stop loss after you buy and the price didn't go up, if you have stop loss first and then you buy again on 25th September, that also can do. That's also a good choice. And then you check for this rally how much profit you get. 40%. But this profit of 40% is not caught by chasing after the rally, by chasing after it. That's, you get prepared in advance. You think differently. When people are thinking the market has no chance, the market is going to drop, you have been monitoring this one and catch the right timing on 25th September to buy and keep holding to make the profit last night. And not only last night, actually recently, all the time. This is one. And the other one actually is called FSLR, First Solar. Okay, so this one is a bit weaker than the unfazed, because what? When we have the buy points, it's below the yellow lines, right? That's why we need to follow the trading system. You see, it's below the yellow lines. The yellow lines will be resistance. At the same time, we see this one, we still have retailers when we have the first recycle buy points. And the big boys above 25% never reach 50. So this one is weaker. When we have the price touch the yellow lines resistance, you see the price faced with resistance drop first, and then it go up. Last night it go up, right? So you didn't catch the rally last night by chasing after it last night. Rather, you get prepared in time. You follow the buy point in advance, and then if you are worried that the price has resistance at the yellow lines, maybe you still can keep monitoring this one. You can skip this rally. In future, there will always be corrections, right? After some correction, and then it turn to another first recycle again in future. If we still have a lot of big boys, above 50%, no retailer, that's another buy point, like what have happened in the history. You see, 4th August. 4th August. Buy points, confirm the buy, rally, then take profit when you have the first Y circle sell point, avoid the correction. So it would also happen again in future. You keep monitoring this one. In future, you have the entry point again. You just buy, follow the trading system. Success rate is high, 87.4%. It's not 100, but it's already very high, and you can make sure you always make profit, and sometimes great profit, and you always avoid losing big amount. Sometimes small amount, Sometimes you can break even, but you never lose big amount. Okay, so this is how you can become the winner in the stock market. Okay, so let's say now maybe we need to get prepared for the future opportunities, right? And then if you are trading Singapore, because for Singapore market it's always weaker than the US, it also would let's say respond slower than the US market. When the US market already sold up last night, for Singapore today, the performance is not like it's quite bullish. If you check today the Singapore market performance, all on the top, all these no use. These are the inactive penny stocks. These are the garbage. They may go up today by 10%. Tomorrow it might drop by 20%. So all these stocks you see on the top, these are garbage. Ignore them, right? And then you if you check the ranking, for some stocks really worth our attention, you will be able to catch someone. Let's say for Franken, right? So Franken, for one thing is sorry. Okay, so for one thing is an oh sorry, Franken, E28. Okay, so for one thing is it still has some big boys, because for Singapore market we have less good good stocks. For this kind of stock, you can regard them as ones with potential, as long as it has big boys and the trend is still, for long term is still up. For medium term, it's below the yellow lines. Sorry, it's below the yellow lines. So let me adjust the chart. Okay, so this is until now, right? The price is still below the yellow lines here. What's wrong? Okay, so the price is still below the yellow lines here, but it may have opportunity in future if the price can go back above the yellow lines again, and then retailers disappear. This share still may give us some other rallies in future. So remember, we don't catch the opportunity on that exact day when the price go up a lot. We get prepared in advance. Means you monitor Franken. Now maybe it's still below the yellow lines, but if you can monitor in future, when we have chance again, you can catch it immediately. And also iFast, right? I also mentioned iFast yesterday, right? So for this one, we check that it's above the yellow lines. The only problem is the purple line didn't go up and the big boys didn't increase. If in near future the price the purple line turn upward again, the big boys increase and volume enlarge, the price would be able to break up the resistance at the previous high. I mentioned this yesterday, right? But you can keep monitoring this one. If you never monitor stocks with potentiality, you cannot catch the opportunity when the price already go up a lot. You always chase after the rally, your timing will always be wrong. So you need to get prepared. You monitor this kind of shares, because they have potentiality. You monitor, you can always catch some opportunity in future, right? And then 九天 Chemical, C8R. It's also in uptrend. It's also in uptrend above the yellow lines. After the first red circle here, the price didn't really break up the high price of the yellow of the first red circle candle. We don't yet have the confirmation for the buy point here, but it may have opportunity in future. At least this is in uptrend for Singapore shares. So if it's long term, medium term uptrend, these kind of stocks already regarded as the strong stocks for Singapore market. It's different from the US. For US, maybe you check the strong ones. Maybe you say the big boys above 75%, no retailer. You regard them as strong stocks. But Singapore, we need to let's say relax our standards a bit. If it's uptrend, it still has big boys, then maybe they have opportunity you can monitor. Okay, this is for Singapore. Situation is a bit different than the US. So this one still can monitoring. It can monitor because it may have opportunity in future. It has the potentiality, right? And also Sheng Song, right? Sheng Song is around the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow. Resistance here, right? Yellow lines here is the resistance. Okay, give me a moment. Oh, okay. Wow. What's the problem? Okay, so the yellow lines here acting as resistance, and also it's white circle, right? If the price break up the yellow lines in future, circle turn red, and then big boys increase again, then Sheng Song may also give us some other opportunities. Because for this one, we don't have so much retailers small amount, right? So maybe this one also have a potentiality in future. You keep monitoring these stocks, strong stocks with potentiality, you can always catch the opportunity in time, not rather than chase after it. Okay, so that's all about today's sharing, and now I think it's the part for individual stock diagnosis. Do you have individual stocks that you want to analyze? You can write down in the comment section any stock to diagnose. I mentioned from the very beginning that you get your individual stocks prepared in advance, right? So we can save the time. Do you have any stock you'd like to diagnose? HPH SG Singapore stock. HPH. Let me check. Is it Singapore share? HPH. Trust. USD, right? HPHSGD. Okay, I got it. P7VU, right? Okay. Yeah, for this one, if we check multicolor dragon, it tells us that it has a big boys. It's a strong stock, right? It's a strong stock. And then what's the right timing to buy for this one? Definitely not now, because it's already many ray circles away from the first ray circle. The first ray circle is below the white lines of Homely Rainbow, blue and yellow lines. So if you really want to catch the rally here and safely, I think one choice is you can check the big boys at 25%. If the big boys reach 25% and retailers less than 10% or even 5%, then you can consider to buy. For example, for this case, can you see this candle? This candle is the candle when the price break up the blue lines of Homely Rainbow, right? This candle, you check multicolor dragon, tell us that the big boys here is 25%. You check the value here, the P chips, the red figure here, the value is 25%, and retailer is 3%. So this, relatively speaking, is a safe entry point. because if the price already break up the yellow lines, means for medium term it turned bullish. Although long term is still bearish, but for medium term, the price turned bullish. There will be a rally, a forceful rally, and especially when the big boys increase and retailers already decrease to be near zero, right, 3%, and the following day retailers gone completely, big boys increase to 50%. So this gave you confidence to keep holding. This gave you confidence to keep holding, and as long as it's a red circle, although we have a resistance around the white lines of homely rainbow, right? But as long as the big boys keep increasing, the red circle is red circle, then you can keep holding, because this is a trading system you have to follow. The sell point is white circle. So you buy here, you keep holding until now. So what if you want to buy this one in future? The timing is not now to buy, because it's already very high for short term. It's already very high. No stock can go up all the time. It go up for a while, it would correct for a while, it would drop for a while. So what you need to do is you wait for some correction. If you haven't bought this one yet, okay, you wait for some correction, maybe it turn to white circle and then drop. Another time it turn to red circle again. If the big boys still quite a lot and no retailer and the purple line turn upward, then that's another buy point again for this trust, HPH trust. This share worth monitoring because it is regarded as a strong stock with big boys taking control more than 75%. That's good, but the timing I mentioned is the most difficult thing. You need to monitor to find the best timing in future. If you have bought, then you keep holding until it turn to white circle, you take profit. Okay, so this one is HPH. So do we have some other individual stocks diagnosed? Okay, so Apple, right? So Apple. Let's check Apple. Okay, so for Apple is around the strength, the resistance of the yellow lines of homely rainbow. For short term, you see the first red circle, this is the short term buy point, but remember resistance around the yellow lines of homely rainbow, right? Yellow lines of homely rainbow. So if you feel that Apple is a stock of great value in future, you want to hold for medium term to long term in future, maybe you still can try to buy some here, right? But if you buy, you are not trading for short term here, because your strategy is for medium term trading, right? So for medium term trading, so you don't care about the short term ups and downs, right? Because this is if you are looking to buy, to hold it for medium term to long term, you have bought, you can keep holding. So you still need to set your stop loss, right? Remember, stop loss is something, it's an important part of your trading system. So how do you set up your stop loss for Apple? So if in near future a drop below the yellow lines again, for medium term trading, maybe your stop loss first. You stop loss first, if the price drop further to touch the blue lines, the support here below the blue lines, right? And then get support, turn upward again, you can try to buy again for Apple. If really the price drop to touch the yellow line, the blue lines, or even the white lines here, I believe for me, myself, I also would try to buy it, to find the time to buy Apple, because everyone knows this share has great potentiality in future. This is a share of great value, big value in future. So yeah, it's a good stock to consider buying, but the timing I mentioned is very important. So it depends on you are focusing on very short term or medium term to long term. If you're focusing on very short term trading, I'd like to say that currently the buy point here is not a very good one because we have the resistance around the yellow lines. Yeah. And what if the price a drop in near future? It would turn to white circle. You have to stop loss. So the best entry point for short-term trading for Apple is in future. If let's say the price already above the yellow lines confirmed, right? After some correction, if it gets some support at the yellow lines again, and retailers gone completely, the big boys increase, the purple line turn upward. That might be another good timing to buy for short-term trading, right? For short-term. For medium-term, if you have bought here, I would not say that you are completely wrong. Maybe this would be after this correction, this would be already the end of the medium-term correction here. That's a short-term to medium-term correction here. In future, the price will go up, slowly go up. It's possible that, but if it didn't go up, it drop below the yellow lines again, better stop loss first because it's possible the price might drop further in future. Okay, or maybe if you want to, let's say, average down your cost, if you have bought here in future, if the price drop to touch the blue lines, if you don't want to sell when the price drop below the yellow lines, right? So if it drop to touch the blue lines, you can increase your position, and then if it drop further to touch the white lines, you can increase your position again. I believe for Apple, unless there is big crash, that let's say the US market suddenly crash, then the Apple, the price will drop below the white lines of Homely Rainbow. Otherwise, it's not likely. I believe if the price really touch the white lines in future, that might be a very good timing considered by Apple. Okay, you can check the figure here. If I put the cursor around the white line, that's around $82. Last white line. First white line is $87. And the first blue line is around $100. And the last blue line is $94. Okay, these are the support levels in future. We need to wait and see the performance if the price really drop in future, touch the support levels here to decide the timing. Remember, when you try to timing your entry points, sometimes you might be wrong for the first or the second attempt. But if you failed for the first and second time, don't just get frustrated. You keep trying the third time or the first time, usually you will be successful because you have picked the right stock, and then you follow the trading system. You have set up your stop loss. So I mentioned for this one, you have two choices for medium term to long term trading. If you have bought, then you don't want to one thing is if the price really drop below the yellow lines again, you can stop loss first to wait until the correction finishes in future. The other choice is you can, maybe you don't want to sell, then you can increase position if the price touch the support level or either blue lines or the white lines. You increase position, then also can do. You can choose. For me personally, I don't want to bear too much risks. Usually, I would wait until the Apple, let's say, it would if it really drop further, then touch the blue and the white lines, then wait and see. I will not just buy immediately here around the first red circle here. For medium term trading, I will not buy here. For short term, I also would not buy here. It's possible that Apple might turn downward again. Even if it didn't turn downward, in future it go up, and if it drop to touch the yellow lines again, get support, I buy, then I believe that will be a safer buy point, either for short term or for medium term. What if it drop below the yellow lines and drop further, right? I want to avoid such kind of possibility. Okay, I think it's already 1 p.m. right? So already the it's a long time my live broadcast. So I will just call it a day for today, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. But if you haven't yet followed my public page on Facebook, just now someone asked me how to follow my public page, my how to follow my live broadcast, right? So you can just search at Homely Emily on your Facebook. On Facebook, then you search at Homely Emily, Homely Emily. You will get this. This is me, Trade with Homely Chart, right? You can click like. Then after you click like, then you enter Trade with Homely Chart. You will be able to see my latest event, my upcoming live broadcasts. Okay, if you still have some individual stocks you want to diagnose, you can contact me privately after the live broadcast. Okay, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and also welcome to share this live broadcast with your friends, because your encouragement will be my biggest motivation. Okay, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.